Hello people, today we have biker gangs and psychics in the near future. Akira was based on a graphic novel created by Katsuhiro Otomo, which he later transformed into one of the greatest animated film adaptations ever. The plot of this film is set 31 years after the Third World War in a futuristic Neo-Tokyo in the year 2019. But the future is not always about new awesome technologies. In fact, there's a lot of crime in the streets, the politicians are struggling with the military, there's an economic crisis, and on top of that, there is a revolutionary organization fighting against the government for power. And in the middle of all this scramble, we have our two main protagonists, Shotaro Kaneda and Tetsuo Shima, who ride in a biker gang together and have known each other since infancy. Now, Kaneda is like the cool kid. He's the leader of the gang and he has the coolest bike you'll ever see in an anime. On the other hand, we have Tetsuo, which is, a regular guy, a regular biker punk. Like, he's always admiring Kaneda's bike. He's kind of jealous of him, of his bike and of his popularity. And over the film, he starts generating more like jealousy and, he wants basically to stop being Kaneda's shadow. Anyway, the film starts with Kaneda's biker gang going after another gang, the Clowns, and they start racing and fighting against each other, and you see action sequences, which suddenly come to an end when Tetsuo gets involved in a crash accident just before hitting a mystery kid. After that, the army discovers them, comes down, arrests everyone, and they decide to kidnap Tetsuo. Cause the army kidnaps people. Then the scene changes and we suddenly see the army experimenting on Tetsuo, and they discover that he has psychic capabilities similar to the ones of Akira. On the other hand, we have Kaneda and the rest of the gang at a police station, where Kaneda meets this girl Kai, who is a member of the revolutionary group, and then he starts hitting on her, and suddenly he becomes part of the revolutionary group himself. Cause who wouldn't become part of a rebel army because of a girl? Meanwhile, Tetsuo is suffering through a lot of psychic weird shit and nightmares and stuff, until he finally develops godlike psychic abilities. After that, he decides to go looking for Akira and basically obliterate everything in his path. In any case, a series of events and violence and destruction lead to the final confrontation between Kaneda and Tetsuo. And I have to say, the anime does a really good job of not letting you get convoluted on the story. The characters basically speak what they need to in order for you not to get lost on the story. There may be a few parts when you go like, what the hell is happening? But it's all part of the psychic story behind it. Now let me get to the astonishing and revolutionary visuals. Akira was released on July 16 of 1988. Yep, I wasn't even born yet. And it puts a lot of nowadays animes into shame, really. Those graphics completely blow your mind. There is lip syncing in this anime. Yes, lip syncing. The mouth of each character moves accordingly to what they are saying. There are only a handful of animes who cover this level of detail. And not only that, even the smoke and the bullets and the buildings and everything has a lot of detail. You can see that the $10 million that costed to do this movie really worked. Now the music is also really good. They give these powerful tones where you're feeling this sensation of power and epicness. It gets really entertaining in the climax of the story, and it works perfectly along with the animations. And moving forward, it's fair to say that this anime changed the industry of animation by bringing new colors and setting higher standards for those to come. In the end, I have to say that Akira is true masterpiece. So if you're a fan of anime, you must have seen this. But even if you're not, if you're into sci-fi stories, you should give it a try. So let me know what you think about Akira. I'll place a link below for the trailer. And tell me which is your favorite anime film of all time. And as Albert Einstein once said, creativity is contagious. Pass it on.